good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Mill Creek Crossing Connection, brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes. And joining us in studio, we have Dwight Wheelan. Of course, Dwight comes in each week to talk about Mill Creek Crossing, but we had quite an interesting conversation going on before the show, and I tell you, these are great stories that should be on the air, talking about some of the baseball, because I was mentioning, the World Series is going on, and there was that Iowa fan holding up the sign saying that was not a fair catch behind home plate. But we won't talk about that. We've got, I will mention, though, of course, yesterday was trick-or-treating. And so I was just curious if any trick-or-treaters came around there in the Mill Creek Crossing division. So did any come by?
Yeah, we had 4 the first time we've ever had any trick-or-treaters.
So that's good.
So when the doorbell rang and I thought they were bringing me candy, the kids didn't have any yet. So apparently we were the first one to hit.
Oh, okay. So you did have candy ready, though.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Jill saw to that. We've always had candy ready, and then you know what happens when, kids show up. You sit around and eat all that junk. But we were able to get rid of 4 of them last night.
Okay. Well, I know my wife and I, we did that for a long time. We would, and we'd get 25, 30 kids maybe. And then a couple of years there, it just got down to the point where we were lucky if one kid came to the house. And so we just kind of quit doing it. And it's not like we didn't have kids in the neighborhood. The neighborhood was filled with kids. But the parents would gather them all up and take them to these trunk or treats or whatever, these single place locations, and they just weren't sending them out in the neighborhood anymore.
Yeah, and that was safer.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I didn't do the trick or treating last night.
Well, our first ones were from Texas.
Oh, okay.
So we had a couple from Texas visiting Grandma.
Okay. Well, that's good. And so did you dress up?
No. The mask I wear is good enough for Halloween.
Yeah. Well, we, of course, every week have been talking about the home they've been working on. So any new progress on that this week?
Yeah, I've seen trucks delivering items this week, like the shower and the bathtub and things like that the plumbers will be installing. And I've seen a couple of deliveries this week. So there'll be some more work going on. I just talked to the office this morning, and they said they'd have it ready for open houses and a schedule that we could put together now that would be a good schedule.
Oh, okay.
But that would happen around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So
keep that in mind. And open houses will be coming.
Yeah, so that means we can maybe have some kind of a special treat in December on the second Saturday.
Okay.
But it won't be finished, but it'll be where people can really see what they're buying. Of course, it's a new design because it's a 3-bedroom home, and that's something new for Dan. But he has one other 3-bedroom home out there, but I guess down Connor Court that's going to be his MO, so that we're anticipating people that are going to be coming in with this new factory.
Oh yeah,
and. Maybe some early people will come in. I've read where they'll start production in 25, but I'm sure they're going to have people moving in a management capacity, and they're going to be looking for homes. So hopefully we'll be past this scare of interest rates. Of course, as they climb, people are hesitant to buy, but when they realize interest rates are here to stay, then they kind of get used to it, and it does affect the payment schedule. But we've always heard Dan talking about each point of interest was the equivalent of 12% on the payment. So people will hold off, and it doesn't look like they're going to start reducing it. They're talking stable today, but probably another increase in December. So it's here to stay, I think.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? So, if people want to get out there and even consider a purchase before the possible rate could go up again, you want to get locked in at the lowest possible rate you can.
That's right. And they can, of course, get loans from the local bank. 30-year loan, the payments are doable yet. However, if someone's over 62 years old and they want to talk about a reverse mortgage, I have just enough information in my head to make them want to see someone else that actually does the mortgages. But I can explain a little bit and give them an estimate of what their payment, what they would have to pay down. And people can't conceive that they can move into a new home and not have a payment. But this is the way. And sometimes some people are making payments, and a reverse mortgage helps in that respect because there is no more payments.
Right.
The only responsibility is pay the taxes, pay the insurance, keep the place in a good repair, and if it's in a homeowners association, keep the payments up. And that absolutely is the only prerequisite to a reverse mortgage. Got to be 62, so it's not for the young at heart. But I think they're going to like the design. I've been in it, not when the plasterboard was up, but just the studs, and it was very visible where the third bedroom was coming into play. But there's a lot of different outstanding features, I think. We've always said they're a home to grow old in. And somebody that's younger than that, if they move into a home, someday they're going to need that handrail going down to the basement. They're going to need the 36-inch doors. That's doable with a wheelchair or a walker. Instead of the normal little light switches, they're the push buttons. Just a lot of features like that you might not need today, but believe me, someday you will.
Well, it's so funny you mentioned that because I've just started noticing this. We have a door that goes between our newsroom and goes down into the transmitter room area, and it's a turn handle.
Yeah.
And every once in a while I grab that handle and try to spin it, and I can't turn it very good, and I'm like, gosh, I wish I had a lever handle here. And I never would have thought that 10 years ago or something, but
No.
boy, as you get older, yeah, those lever handles are nice.
This is our first house that has the lever handles and the push buttons.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call them, the big, wide light switches. But there's so many features that they're absolutely, I've said this all summer, they're easy to cool.
Mm-hmm.
Today I can say they're easy to warm.
Well, that's what I was going to bring that up with the cold weather that just hit here in the last couple of days. If you're in one of those homes where you see the drapes blowing back and forth with the wind, you don't see that anymore, do you?
No, you don't. Pella makes an awful good window, and some of the homes now have Anderson windows, and either one of them are are a good choice. Easy to tip out the cleaning from inside the house, and just a lot of features like that me, I wouldn't have thought of them. Shirley, she thought of all those things. We've lived there going on 12 years, I guess, and I haven't heard anybody complain about their house was hard to heat or the light bill was unusually high.
Right, and that's the other thing is obviously if the furnace isn't working as often to keep the place warm, your bill's not going to be as high. And if you're in an older home that does have a lot of places where heat escapes, their bills are going to be probably 2-3 times as high.
Yeah, we have people look at them, and when I tell them what my light bill is, they can't believe it. Now, how you use electricity has a lot to do with what your light bill is. And the homeowner's fee really shocks them. When you tell them $65 a month, they say, well, I pay more than that each time they mow my yard or remove the snow. But in the homeowners association, we do take care of the lawn mowing and the snow removal if it snows more than an inch. And yesterday, the way the wind was blowing, I thought we might be in for that.
It came down pretty heavy a couple of times, but it wasn't sticking, so that's good.
But if that had been January blowing like that, it would have been sticking.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we're happy out there. A lot of happy people live out there. And even if you aren't in the market to buy right now, you might come out and take a look and see what they build. It's unbelievable what the lumber costs have done to the homeowners. Lumber costs, windows went up twice in 1 year.
Wow.
And things like that just all add up.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it looks like we've run out of time. So, again, let folks know how they can get a hold of you or if they want more information about the development out there at Mill Creek Crossing.
Yeah, I live right behind the new construction. It's on Connor Court. You can drive by and see that it's the one being constructed. My phone number is 563-212-2563.
Just give you a jingle if they want to stop in and take a look.
You bet.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks, Dwight, for being our guest once again on today's Mill Creek Crossing Connection, brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes.